4, 3.
You're listening to the Converted Podcast, the podcast about the Guild Convert to Raid on Airy Peak, US.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 133 of the Converted Podcast, the World of Warcraft podcast all about the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak, US. Today is July 30th, 2018. It's just about 6:21 p.m. Airy Peak local time. Thank you very much for joining us. Sal, what's up?
In this episode, we have the Unshackled Fury podcast, your converted shoutouts, all the guild happenings, and the very first converted AMA.
That's right, everybody. I am Barfolomew the Paladin, and with us tonight is not one, but two guests. That's right, everybody. The crew from the Unshackled Fury podcast are with us live right now. First, the guy whose booming voice isn't at all compensating for anything, it's Berserker. How you doing, man?
Your favorite warriors are here today, noble, true, with hearts of steel. Now the converted will never be the same. Berserker and Navox are our names. We're good.
I have never existed in a month where I got two of the best sea shanties I've ever heard in my life until now. That was awesome. Also, someone here who is no stranger to the converted. In fact, he used to be a host. Join me in welcoming the bringer of Hordy Tears, Navox. What's going on, man?
I can't. I have nothing that can top that. So yeah, I got nothing, man. That was awesome. I wasn't expecting that. I had no idea.
I'm full of surprises, buddy. You know this by now.
Our regular
cast. Thanks for having us back on the
Sorry,
show.
go for it.
So yeah, no. I love interrupting. Go for it, Barf.
Our regular cast of misfits are also on hand as well. Give it up for Sal Mises, the shaman.
Thank you. I played through the new quest line that we got last week, and all I can say is, Horde is bad, okay? All right, and there's one thing that I want to say at the top of the show, just in case anyone misses it, that I know we're still in this week, and this week is a very important week. We're talking to two wonderful people, but I want to tell you what's going to go on in 2 weeks. On August 13th, the worldwide release of Battle for Azeroth is happening. It's imminent. It's going to happen. And it goes live just a few hours before the converted starts, before this show starts. What I want everyone to know is that the guest for that show on August 13th is you. If you're hearing me, if you're hearing my voice, if you're seeing my face, you are the guest for the show on August 13th. Come join us in Discord while you're playing. I assume you're going to be playing. I'm going to be playing. Barf's going to be playing. We're all going to be playing, right? And so maybe you're waiting for servers to crash or maybe not to crash. I don't know. But we're going to talk about the game. So everyone should come and everyone will have a voice. If you come, get in that Discord channel, and this is your chance to be on the converted. We'll have a special chat room handy, which I haven't actually asked for yet, but I'm sure we can make it happen. Hey, Kalani, hook us up, all right?
We know people. And also, the wonderful Turarts the Hunter. Turarts, how you doing?
I have been awesome. I also played through the Alliance quest, and although I am not Horde bad MK, I am skeptical of the Horde for sure because it's part 1 of 2. Like, we don't know what's going to happen yet, guys. So I'm not hating on the Horde yet. I also was a guest on Azeroth Roundtable with Ben and John. And
wow, that's awesome.
It was. I had to really bring that Alliance pride, but spoilers, they're bi-factional, so it was okay. Because they usually bleed red and tell me all on the show about how red they are. But Yes. So that was my week there. And then quick aside from World of Warcraft, my 1-year affiliate is coming up on September. So I am planning a big stream on August 31st because it's the Friday before Labor Day. So I have that Saturday off. And because my actual 1 year falls on a Wednesday, and that's lame. So that's been exciting. Just kind of planning that. I've been affiliate for a year. So that is awesome. That's what I've been doing. But tonight, guys, as Sal said at the top of the show, we are doing something different. Instead of an interview of two amazing guys who have been on the show multiple times before, but never as a couple, this is a first. We get the first Navox Berserker couple. We've kind of opened the gates for the very first time with a converted AMA. So our victims, Berserker and Navox, are here to answer any question you have. Eshelon is watching the chat room to get your questions and keep them coming. We will get them asked on the show, and everything's on the table. Just keep it within guild rules. Now, Barf, it's your turn. What have you been up to? It's been 2 weeks.
It has been 2 weeks. It's been a busy 2 weeks. Silverbolt was in town, which was really exciting. Got to spend some time with her. That was a good time. The CTR Communities feature? Well, the Communities feature, like it was made for us. The Communities feature came out. We were playing with it for a while, and it seems like it's got a lot of cool tools in it. But, man, I'm not sure if it's quite right for our as big as group as we have.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, that didn't stop me from digging around in there and trying to find some stuff out. And it does have a lot of cool stuff associated with it. I kind of get the feeling that, like, 2 iterations from now, it might be really great. But we'll have to see how that goes. I've also been leveling a paladin. A blood elf paladin.
Gasp! Surprise!
Yeah, he's one of them horde men over there. How you have them, the hordes. And I found out something really weird. Apparently, the transmog options for artifacts. If you have a weapon that is not an artifact, you can transmog any of your class appearances to it without any kind of problem. So if I just slap on some green shield, I can put my big cool, shield with my flaily mace on it and look all awesome at level 102, right? No big deal. You can't do that on artifacts. And if you go to the Shriney Do and click it, all of the appearances are locked. So I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, no, what am I going to do? I can't. They're all there, but you can't apply them to artifacts. I thought that was the strangest thing. It's not going to matter in a couple of levels, but that was the thing that I encountered. The other thing in Warcraft that I did was I also did the Teldrassil type, the Ashen Veil thingy doos.
Right.
And
where the horde has slaughtered innocent night elves.
Exactly. That's exactly what they did. I played it Alliance and I played it Horde. I have a Demon Hunter max level that I was able to get in there and look around. And I love Sylvanas. I think she is a fun character. I think she's a great character. She is evil to the bone, and the things that she's doing are bad things, and the rationale that she gives the players are a lie. That is that is the hill I will die on. Sylvanas is a lying liar. Also, the Warbringers video was really exciting, and I've been singing a sea shanty for 2 weeks. Talk about Warbringers for a minute?
Of me. Yes.
Oh my
Go
God.
ahead,
Sure,
do that.
let's talk about that.
My little tiny heart. My little heart was beating so quickly. It was the cool, and then she raises it out of the thing, and there's a boat on it. Oh my goodness. And I played Warcraft 3, like a couple of months ago? So like the whole Admiral Proudmoore thing was like still kind of fresh in my mind, and the references back to him and everything that happened at Theramore when it was great. Oh my goodness. I am so stoked to see what they're going to do with Jaina. But I feel as though I have been rambling. So I will instead do this thing that I totally prepared for and didn't at all forget. At all, even.
Raiders everywhere, raise your swords into the air. Berserker, warrior of the world. Retribution is at hand. Wipe this white from the land. Berserker, warrior of the world.
Okay, Berserker, Warrior of the World.
Yeah.
I forgot all about
Yeah.
that. I'm so happy that that was in there. I probably could have set it up so that the stream could hear it too, but I didn't, so my bad.
You want to tell people what happened there? Anyone who doesn't know Zerker?
Well, if you don't know, you should know by now, is that Sal made good on a bet that we had made. This goes back in the ye olden times. This goes back to the Warlords of Draenor area, which, yeah, it's been a while. And rumor going around, Dark Below, maybe not the name of the expansion. Sal was on Team Dark Below. I was on Team Reality, and so we put a little bit of a bet on it. I would have had to have rapped something about Sal had I lost and it was Dark Below. Sal had to make some sort of video about the Ballad of Berserker, which is what happened. And credit to Sal for putting forth a good, true, and honest effort. And apologies to everyone still randomly coming across that song in jukeboxes across Northern California.
Yeah, listen, I worked so hard on that I'm going to play it every time you're on, man. I'm going to get every minute of use from this song that I possibly can.
You should. It's phenomenal.
And it's about you.
Well, there's that too, and that's great.
So chat room, now's the time. The AMA has begun. Get your questions in now for Unshackled Fury. They are unshackled. We are unleashed. I'd like everyone to ask away. Ash is catching questions in there, but first we're gonna start, right?
Yeah, we're gonna start. We're gonna start it out. Turarts, you go ahead.
Yes, so I have a question. We'll start with Berserker as a former guest on the show. We'll give you a first chance to chat with us. Give us your elevator pitch for Unshackled Fury.
Unshackled Furry?
The cat. I got
Unshackled
distracted by the
furries.
fluffy cat. Unshackled Fury.
Unshackled Fury is the brainchild of myself and now myself and Navox, where essentially it's Warcraft from a everyday player's point of view, the or warrior's point of view in some respects, because we do get ragey, as is our wont to be in life. But for the most part, it's, straightforward, honest talk about the game and sort of the world around it, whether it's the game itself, whether it's personalities, the community, Blizzard, stuff they're trying to sell us, and honest opinions about it. I do everything and we do everything for free. We're not beholden to any sponsors or corporate rules of any type, which, listen, it's not for everybody. I curse a lot. It's very blue. But it's been fun. It's been a good ride, and Navox has been coming along with me now for almost a year, and it's been a good little adventure so far.
So I got a question for you. I'm given to understand that you guys are big fans of the Horde. You guys are Horde players, right?
Navox, did new guests come on? Did we get kicked off?
I think we got kicked off, yeah.
Oh, because I know that could not have possibly been for us. That's true blue alliances. I know you and I are.
Okay, Zerker. You first started the podcast by yourself,
Yes.
and then you brought Navox on, which was great because the Unshackled Fury, you got two warriors on there. What I want to know is, how did you boys hook up?
This show, quite honestly, was coming on here, and Navox was a host at one point when I came on, and we just kind of talked to each other. I don't know, just randomly about stuff. He would message me, but don't worry, my romantic partner Rommel is still out there, and our relationship is still very strong. So for anybody who's concerned, don't worry. Navox is just my side piece. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like we we finish each other's
Sentences.
diarrhea.
Yeah. Oh. Someone's got to hold the bucket.
I do have a question about your show, because Unshackled Fury is unlike anything out there. First of all, you cuss, and that makes my little black heart happy.
She likes that, yeah.
I love the cussing. But you guys are really passionate about World of Warcraft, but also the lore. Can you guys talk about that a little bit? Like how you guys kind of incorporated that in a way to make it fun and entertaining?
Go ahead, buddy.
All right. So actually about lore, I am absolutely terrible at lore. And what drove me to actually listening to, I was a listener of Unshackled Fury before I was actually invited to be a host on Unshackled Fury. And what I liked, what Berserker was doing was he would do some episodes on lore and things of that nature. And then I'd go out there and read up on things. I actually was not that big on lore till this expansion came out, in all honesty, you know. So I'm playing a lot of catch up here. And like, for example, today I went down a rabbit hole of so let's just, this is how it works. This is exactly how our show works. Here we go. So Turarts, I was listening to
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
No. Here we go. I was listening to Azeroth Roundtable. You were a guest on the show.
Yeah.
Something I was halfway to work, and the words "I want to kill Jaina and Khadgar" came out of your mouth.
They did.
And I was going to wreck my truck into a telephone pole at that point. I'm like, what is happening now? So I went into work and I'm like, okay, so let's deep dive into Jaina. So I found, I went down a rabbit hole of just Wikipedia articles, videos, this, that, and the other. So I was like, oh, so this is Jaina's backstory. And then, you know, so this is how the lore, like I start getting more and more interested in the lore as the day goes on. I'll ping Berserker all day at work. He's like, Jesus, dude, I'm trying to get stuff done here. And, you know, but yeah, we just go back and forth on the show. We'll just rabbit hole. Like what I'm doing right now, I'll rabbit hole. Cause now, you know, I want to talk about what's, you know, the events of Teldrassil. I want to talk about all that kind of stuff because it's really interesting. And while I was deep diving into the Jaina story, this is how it comes around. I discovered that what we may see with Teldrassil happened prior in Warcraft 3. So if that does happen, cool. You know, so if you don't know what I'm talking, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. If you haven't gone out there and looked up Nordrassil at all, go out there and look and read up and just see what happened. You can actually, there's a video out there. Noble 87 actually put it together. Give a shout out to Noble 87 about, you know, Jaina's storyline. And in episode 1 goes into what happened to Nordrassil. So, you know, I invite you to go out there and look at that, unless we just ruin it on the show right now and just say, hey, this happened. It's been a while.
Are you talking about the thing that happened like 10,000 years ago?
Yeah, the thing that happened during Warcraft
go
3.
ahead and say that.
Okay,
well,
so
that's not 10,000 years ago, but it's Warcraft 3.
And this is how it works, because I'll say a name, it's going to be completely wrong, and I've got my buddy here to back me up. So, and he'll correct me. So is it Archimonde? Is that who was?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Archimonde attacking Nordrassil, and Malfurion sets the wisps to burn the tree down. So all of us are like,
close.
Okay.
The wisps defended the tree against Archimonde. They attacked Archimonde.
Yeah, they blew him up and in the process burned down everything.
So I think that's what's going to happen with Teldrassil also, because that's a big zone, right?
Damn it, is Archimonde back again?
No, I don't think it's Archimonde. I just think, you know, we know that Teldrassil's built on top of, there's some old god crap going on there, right? So the Horde invade, and we know everybody's like, oh, Gen's going to burn down Teldrassil. Oh, Sylvanas is going to burn down Teldrassil. Sure. There's not enough explosives to take a tree down that big. There just isn't. I mean, you know.
But do you know what? There's a whole lot of
wisps
chucking Azerite around on helicopters.
We don't know
Listen,
a lot about
the Alliance quest has you climb into a tree and throw rocks. The Horde quest has you climb into a helicopter and shoot missiles made out of Azerite. Like, they have armaments there.
Right, but the thing is, that tree is so large that we're not getting the entire picture from our skybox. Like, it is so huge that we don't see the top of the tree, and it's not just like it's hollow up top. You see that there's branches and whatnot. We just don't get to see that from our skybox. It was just never really, completed.
Well, okay, that all that's coming up soon. We'll soon know the.
But yeah, so back to our
what's
topic
actually
of
happening.
lore. That's how it happens on the show. We'll talk about something, and I'll rabbit hole for about an hour and a half, and then 30 minutes later we'll have our show completed. So that's what happens there.
You never hear it because I just edit all that out.
Yeah, you never hear it because he just edits it out. So there's like the hour-long show that we do is really like 2.5 hours of just.
What are you saying? Is you've got your work cut out for you this week, Sal?
Yeah, thanks, Navox. So you do talk quite a lot about lore in your show, and something that I appreciated was okay. So I read the book finally, the Before the Storm.
Oh, good. Okay.
And I had been keeping all the podcasts that came up and not listening to them yet because I didn't want to know. And I'm glad because there's kind of a big thing that happens at the end, And I cannot believe that wasn't spoiled. That I didn't read that. I'm like, good job. But no, don't. No, because some people read slow. But here's my point.
Are you talking about the scene with all the parachutes and the mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys did I don't know, review a talk about that book, and a lot of podcasts did, and I've listened to I think 4 so far, one from a big famous one, and so far you're the only ones that have put 2 and 2 together, and I didn't think about it at all, with the Forsaken being kind of a metaphor for other marginalized populations.
That had to be Zerker.
You know what I'm talking about? No, it was definitely Zerker.
That was definitely Zerker, because
that's possible.
I mean, am I picking that out of nowhere? But you're like, yeah, it's got like repercussions from real world. These are people whose family have turned away from them, and
yeah, no, we talked about that, and it's something that as Warcraft continues to World of Warcraft anyway, and the Warcraft franchise as it continues to age and get on in years, you can feel that there's a sense of maturation about their storytelling, because the kind of topics that they're handling now is just not something they would have done originally. Mm-hmm. And Blizzard in and of itself is a pretty progressive company along the political spectrum. And I'm not going to get too far into that kind of stuff here, but I think that if there's anyone who can kind of hone in on portions of society and how to bring them in or how they're treated in different things, I think Blizzard would be one of them. The Forsaken, when you look at, and we talked about this, is when you look at that as a group and you take that as real, it's kind of like with The Walking Dead. What happens when you really have to deal with zombies and stuff like that? And any one of these kinds of movies where they take fantastic ideas and they make them real. And what does that actually look like? What would you be thinking? What would you see? What would you taste, touch, smell? What would your senses actually experience with all of these things? And yeah, it's refreshing that they're continuing to go in that area. And I've seen some people bagging on Blizzard, and maybe rightfully so, that they're getting lazy or whatever. And that's your opinion. I don't think so. I think that they're moving on and trying to figure out new ways of telling their stories. And I think Before the Storm was a great piece of not filler work, but it was a great bridge between expansions. There's more coming with the Warbringers and the comics that they've done. And I've said it many times. Now is the best time to get into Warcraft, because there's just the storytelling is more complete than ever before. I think part of it is that they're probably being held accountable, because all of us nerds are looking at the internet going, that's not right, because you never want Red Shirt Guy to happen again if you're Blizzard and go, oh no, we screwed up in front of everyone.
Actually, the Night Elves are I guess they can retcon anything they want to.
They can, Illidan, but it was great.
Astronar.
I love Illidan.
I'm perfectly fine with what they did with Illidan.
It was awesome. Blast. And when Arthas comes back, I'll like that too.
Yeah. What? No, that guy gotta be dead.
Bolvar
Part 2, baby.
Bolvar's coming back. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. If you play the Death, listen, if you play the Death Knight quests, oh boy, if you play those Death Knight quests, you know Bolvar's up to no good, man. He's coming back. He's coming back in a big way. We're gonna see him a lot.
I'm so excited.
I don't want that rehashed. But the thing is,
Arthas's soul out of the void to fight him.
Listen, it's going to be rehashed because one of the first NPCs you encounter is directly tied to Bolvar in the new expansion.
okay, fine. You know who else has questions? Our chat room. Our chat room has questions, and I instructed people to ask all week long. And when I say I mean Turarts she does the tweeting. If you want to know whose tweets, it's Turarts. Turarts, the tweeter, asked for questions for this AMA, Ask Me Anything. And I said, nothing is off topic. We can ask anything, but keep it PG-13. And, but it's got to be, for guild chat, guild rules apply. And we did get quite a few questions. I'm going to say, Barf and Turarts, we have this whole list of questions in front of us in the notes. And I say, why don't we just circle it? You grab one that you like.
You want me to read as many as I can, as fast as I can?
No, that's not what I said.
Shotgun.
And then delete it when it's gone. So we don't.
Yeah, good idea.
Let's see what we can do. One that really stuck out to me was Slick Rock, who we know and love, Berserker. Slick Rock asked some awesome questions, and my favorite one here is pick a Windrunner sister to marry,
or Jaina, right? We get to pick.
Well.
Jaina.
He said Jaina, but the thing is, there's 3 Windrunner sisters. We could play.
Are we gonna do the Windrunner thing? Because
you can do Kiss, Marry, Kill if you wanted to.
Oh.
But okay, what he said is pick a Windrunner sister or Jaina to marry.
Jaina, that's like a no-brainer right there.
How about you, Zerker?
Jaina...
Oh, are we playing the game, or am I just picking one name?
No,
play the game.
Let's play the game.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So
Mary.
usually it's kill Sylvanas. That's
yeah.
we're just gonna.
Yeah,
get
I'm
that
on board
right
there.
She's
away.
used to it by now. She's been through
yeah,
it. It's old hat.
She'll be
Kiss
back.
Valera, and I'll marry Varisa.
Marry Varisa.
I was going to swap that because I'm not down with the Void. We talked about this. I'm not down with what's going on with her. So I'm okay. And also Ronan's out of the picture now too. So, you still got to deal with those
Twins.
the weird looking twins from that comic.
Redheaded twins.
Being stepdad is a hard job, man.
Okay, let's Turarts Barf. We'll just circle it.
And for anyone who chat who's having a problem with kill Sylvanas, I mean permadeath. There's still a permadeath. Yeah, she's undead.
No more
I
Valkyrie
got
stuff.
it. But the dead,
Yeah.
like, gone forever in the void with Arthas, chilling, having a barbecue in the Nether Sphere.
Now, Sylvanas wasn't bad prior to being turned. Right?
No, she was
No,
actually,
she had her soul ripped out of her body. I mean, we'd all be kind of screwed up, frankly.
yeah,
if we
honestly,
had to live
yeah.
that experience.
Yeah.
But she just took it too far.
She took
Okay.
her soul being ripped out for just way too
Let's
far.
let's continue with some questions. Turarts,
All right.
go.
My favorite question will have to be, what still motivates you in the game to keep playing?
I'll take that. What still motivates me to play the game is the friends that I've met along the way, and the people that I continue to play the game with on a daily basis. Like the people that I log in to play with, the people I log into Discord and chat with on a nightly basis, my raid team that I chat with, Facepul, they keep me logging in every single night. A great bunch of people, the people in guild, the community that we have. People talk about, I miss vanilla. I miss the community feel. Well, you get that with CTR basically. You've got people running community events. You've got hundreds upon hundreds of players on a nightly basis. But yeah, that's what keeps me playing.
Yeah, it's two parts. One is the people. Obviously, I been with the same raid team now for many years, and it's a great core group of people that we've had almost since the beginning. Some folks come on within the first year or so, but we've had a really stable roster, and it's been a phenomenal group to be with. The other part is like I mentioned earlier, the storytelling has progressively just gotten better and better and better. And I'm a lore guy, I'm a story guy, so that's why you don't really hear me talk about gameplay mechanics all that much on Unshackled Fury, because I'm more of the story guy. That's what I've always been interested in. That's why I have all the freaking books up on a bookshelf over here, thick tomes full of knowledge, because that's what I love. And that's why I was so sad when Metzen left, but then you have Christy Golden coming in and clearly having an influence. And so I had some doubts at one point. I think probably a lot of us did around the Warlords era, going, oh God, where are they going? But
the expansion that shall not be named.
But coming out of that, it's really been a lot of wins, in my opinion, and it keeps me motivated. Plus, you know what other hobby can you have for $15 a month where you can get together with a bunch of friends whenever you guys want and have fun and screw around? And I mean, that's pretty lucky to have that.
Awesome. Barf.
Yeah, I saw a question come up from Frasley, and on its own, it's a good question, but also I kind of wanted to ask it because I want to know the answer for personal reasons. What's something that you guys have learned from your career as podcasters?
Controversy breeds view counts.
That's true. That is true.
Nobody cared about me until I started yelling about other people.
That is absolutely true.
No, certainly I think we've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about tech stuff. I mean, look at this ridiculous microphone in front of me. I didn't have this the last 3 times I was on the show. But no, I think if anything, what I've learned is how to pay closer attention to what I'm doing in game. I think sometimes you just run along and you're like, yeah, I'm doing the thing and this is it. But when you're having to think about an audience and how you're coming back and talking about what you're doing and what you're seeing and maybe how that's relevant to other stuff, it's definitely made me think differently about the way that I play.
You got an answer for that, Navox?
No. Actually, I absolutely agree with that, because the minute he said that, I do take into account the way I'm doing quests now is, hey, I might want to read this because if I have to talk about it at some point, make sure you have some knowledge there. But also, I loved, the main thing that got me into podcasting was just being able to chat and get, have a voice of, because I'm very passionate about playing World of Warcraft, and I like having some little voice in our little community, and I get to say my little piece, even if it's wrong. I don't care. You get to say it, and that, and I get to play with a lot of tech. Like I bought tech. I love all the little buttons and switches and stuff on my mixer. So I love learning about all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to tell a story about Navox very quickly. Well, when I was first podcasting a long time ago, yes, years ago, I said, I need to put my microphone on something. I can't just sit it on my desk. It gets all knocked around. And Navox links me to an arm, a microphone arm. That he said, hey, well, yeah, I got this one, and it immediately breaks, and I'm like, wow, this thing broke, and he goes, yeah, same thing happened to me. I'm like, why did you recommend it? Why did you recommend? He goes, yeah, it totally broke on me too.
But I sent you one, right? I sent you the one that I had, right? Didn't I send that to you?
Remember.
Look at the hardware in front of your microphone right there. If it's got some weird like chrome bolts on it, that's not the default stuff on it. That's the one I sent you. So yeah.
You jerk. Do you know how much I've had to deal with this?
Well, at least you can tighten it with a Phillips head, and you don't need a specialty wrench at this point.
No, I had to get washers because it's all stripped.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sal, can I
that's
send
my
you
Navox
any of
story.
my broken tech?
Here's the deal. I'll get out a screwdriver and drill and stuff and fix it. But yeah, maybe you did send me that. Anyway,
you actually don't need that thing on there anymore. Anyway, you could take it off.
What thing?
The windscreen on front's not really doing anything for it.
It looks cool.
Oh, all right.
Every time I get on a video chat at work, they're all like,
fine.
You must be a podcaster on radio." Listen, I'm not taking this. Okay, I'm going to ask a question. I had one lined up from Exclavier. Says, "What's your favorite MCU character?"
Thor.
Uh,
For the audio audience, Navox is pointing at his Captain America
Captain
hat.
America.
wow, you got a mug too. And then Thor. That's a pretty obvious one for you.
Yeah.
Berserker. Okay,
Yeah.
Turarts.
What would be your favorite raid tier?
Ice Crown Citadel, no question.
I was going to say Siege of Orgrimmar.
Oh God, no.
What is
I know we were in there for I know we were in there for a long time, but that raid, honestly, that raid solidified our friendships in a raid team and tested our I mean, honest to God, Mythic Siegebreaker. I still have the video out there of us just screaming and hollering when we defeated it, and it's like, oh man, that was the best. I loved that raid.
The most perfect fight of any fight in WoW ever was the shaman one.
Oh yes, and now
That was such a great fight, and it was made for me. Okay, because I could cast while
you
moving.
got a
back then.
transmog.
Well, first of all, I got a wicked transmog out of it. Right, it was like corrupted shaman or something like that. It was 3 shaman. You had a tank. Anyway, it was made for me. It was like high mobility, which I'm not that anymore, but I used to be, and they had the same stuff as I did. Anyway, yes, I agree. The only problem with Siege of Orgrimmar is that it lasted 2 years or something.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it? Barf?
Yeah, I guess so. For Battle for Azeroth, if a DPS warrior were looking to be a DPS warrior, would you guys go Fury or Arms, or would you have any suggestions on that?
Fury.
Fury's way to do it?
Fury. Go Fury. That's all you have to do.
But
What he
that's
said.
my thing.
Listen, I don't begrudge anyone. You want to be a warrior, whatever kind you want to be.
Ugh.
But Fury is.
You want to use
Fury is
one
the true
sword,
spirit.
be a prot warrior. You want to use 2 swords, be a Fury warrior.
I mean, listen, go out, grab a piece of cardboard and go out in your garage and smash on something like it's a shield, and it is pretty satisfying. So don't get me wrong. I can see the need to be a protection spec warrior, but Fury is it's just all about the rage and ramping up and smashing on things and getting it.
It's
it's just satisfying.
it's so spammy and satisfying. I mean, you hit whirlwind and then you hit any other single target, attack, and you're hitting everything. I mean, it's great.
There's something in game design, and I'm not going to pretend like I know what it's called, but there's a thing that they talk about where it's the sound effect and like the way that it works in conjunction with what you see on the screen. It gives you this sort of satisfaction when something hits or when something does something. And let me tell you, being a Fury warrior gives it to me every time.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that question came from Winchester. Wanted to point that out.
Thank you. Frog Sprout says, which in-game warriors are inspirations for your characters?
Varian Rin.
Yeah, Varian.
Yeah?
I mean,
that is the warrior.
that's the
I mean,
king, baby.
yeah.
Okay.
But okay, Navox. Now, let's be honest. That's a true answer, but it's kind of a cop-out answer.
Okay, all right.
Would you have said that 2 years ago?
What other warriors? Okay, all right. So, are we going to talk about dwarf warriors? Are we going to talk? I mean, well, who else would you pick? I can't think of
any warrior in game, right? We're talking about NPCs, characters, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I assume there's a pile of them up there in the Halls of Valor, or wherever you guys
Surprisingly,
live.
there's not. It's a bunch of Vrykul.
You guys can't even name a second warrior in the game.
I'm waiting for my man Nav here.
They're struggling because they know all the best warriors are actually paladins.
Navox can't name a second warrior.
Magni. But,
Fact check. Chat room, fact check that. Magni, what class is Magni? I mean, he's now is a speaker class, I suppose.
How about
But,
Lothar?
We can go with Gen Greymane, but he turns into a wolf all the time, so it doesn't really matter. I mean,
Actually, I
Lothar is
actually don't know
probably
if
the
he's-
second greatest warrior behind King Varian Rin. So that could be my backup answer.
Wow, Frog Sprout really, filled us in on something. Turarts.
Yes. So you guys are all about lore, which means you've probably been all over the game, seen spots that you've read and books and stuff like that. So Exclavier asks, what is your favorite location in game?
I'll give you some time to recover, Nav. Karazhan. If my character eventually dies and has to be buried somewhere, I want to be buried somewhere in the halls of Karazhan. And wander around as a dancing ghost for all time.
my favorite zone in the game is Grizzly Hills. Plain and simple. I
The
love that.
music.
I love the music. I love the tall trees. I love the waterfall. I love the zone.
All right, Barf.
What do you guys snack on while you're playing?
Pocket cheese.
That one came from Frasley, by the way. What is it?
Pocket cheese.
What is that? And is it
Oh.
dirty?
You don't
Sounds
know
disgusting.
the joy of pocket cheese? Well, let me tell you, fine folks, about the disgusting snack that I love that only my raid team members know about, is where I will going downstairs during breaks will get string cheese or like Baby Bell cheese, and I'll put it in my pocket, and I'll forget about it for like a half hour, and then it's like
It
9
warms it.
o'clock. And I get really hungry, and I go, "Oh wait, I have cheese in my pocket." And I pull it out, and it's all warm and squishy, and I'm like,
That's
"Yeah!" And I eat it, and
genius.
it's delicious. Oh, so good.
That's genius. It's like almost. Oh man.
Sometimes I'll get lucky, and I'll forget that I have 2 sticks in there, and that'll hold me over for at least 5 or 6 wipes. Solid.
What a day that was.
Big day. Big. Huge.
Oh my gosh. Is it my turn? I think it's my turn. Let's see, Yeared Rinker says, what's the weirdest thing anyone has ever written into the show about, whether it made it on the air or not?
I believe we read all viewer mail, and I don't know if it's necessarily the weirdest, but we did have
Recent.
we had an erotic fan fiction contest
Yes.
a while back.
I remember that.
Listen, I'm not into kink shaming, so listen, whatever your deal is, if you're into Bigfoot, that's cool. If
Bigfoot,
you're into
yes,
Warcraft, that's
yeah.
cool too. I'm not gonna knock whatever you're into. Some people might find that weird, so I guess it could be the weirdest thing we've ever gotten. But enjoy the hell out of it. And yes, my sweet Rommel, we will once again have that contest probably later in the year. So don't worry, people, you'll have your opportunity.
Yeah, and go out to Reddit because Reddit's got the yeah. So if you go out to WoW Reddit and read the page, go out there, read the rules, right? At the very bottom, there's a link for an adult WoW thing that corresponds with what we just talked about. So yeah, check that out.
No, but you haven't lived until you've heard Berserker read a very long story.
I think it's going to get a little bit better next time too, because ever since we did the Varian Rin memorial, yeah, I think we'll put some more production value into the next reads.
That was
For
a great
sure.
show too.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what inspired us to do. Well, they didn't know this, but we did a funeral
Cool off,
the last
Sal.
show. What?
Cool off.
We did a funeral for Legion, and it was inspired by that episode when you did a funeral for Varian Rin.
I saw that. It was very cool. I'm sorry I missed it.
It was good. Hey, T.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to chain some questions here real quick. So you have to answer the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh God. Okay.
These are food related. So
Mm.
white, dark,
Who
or milk
asked these
chocolate?
questions, T?
This first one was Frasley. White.
Frasley's all about food. Like Frasley's just all about food, and he's just this beanpole. All right, go for it.
Dark chocolate.
Yes. What kind, Navox?
Milk chocolate.
Yeah, I can respect that. Center or edge brownie? There's
Edge.
only God.
Edge.
Gene. Pineapple on pizza,
Yes,
yay or
pineapple
nay?
on pizza. Yep, sure.
Of course.
Okay.
I watched the Ninja Turtles growing up.
There are two people in this world: those who like pineapple on their pizza, and those who are wrong.
Yeah. Ketchup on scrambled eggs, yay or nay?
Yes. That's
Yes,
fine.
but only if you add Cholula.
I could try that. And then s'mores. Are your marshmallows burnt or are they a nice light golden brown?
Golden brown.
Golden brown.
And finally, the most important question, because this is how we all survive, except for I do tea. But anyway, how do you take your coffee?
Cream and sugar.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have too many acid reflux problems.
I have a really bad answer for this that cannot be on this show. But yes, cream and sugar.
Oh, airplane.
What?
What?
Never.
I know
from
where
the
you are,
movie.
Sal. I'm right with you,
I-
Red Leader.
I can only think of two things, and one's really bad, and one I'm kind of like, so we'll post show this.
We'll post show that. Barf.
I don't think this one is highlighted. I think it's just out of the chat copied. Presley would like to know if either of you has ever played other MMOs besides World of Warcraft.
Yes. Oh,
Describe.
you want more information?
Describe.
I think like everybody that was, if you've seen my Twitter feed in the last 24 hours or so, you'll see that we're Star Wars fans in this house. And so did check out the Star Wars MMO and was underwhelmed like a lot of people and very sad. I think I tried the Conan one for a little bit when that was around because it's like warrior stuff. I mean, how can I not? But I'm pretty loyal to Warcraft, and frankly, I only have time for so much. So
Navox, was that a yes from you as well?
I don't dabble in other MMOs. Like I went from EverQuest to World of Warcraft, and that was it. I tried a little bit of Dark Age of Camelot. Remember that game back in the day? But that was, that was just some weird WoW wannabe game. At that point, it was like, ugh.
Okay. From Slick Rock, is Jaina going to be a leader or an eventual villain this time?
Oh, not a villain. She's not going to be a villain. No. She's going to be a leader.
You need a calming adult presence in Anduin's life now that his father is gone, and minor spoiler alert for the book that his caretaker might not be as available as in the past. So he needs some kind of, I don't know, elder presence to kind of help him out a little bit, maybe. So I would not be surprised to see Jaina coming back. She's hardened now, but she's with the Coltyrans, and she's helping to bring them into the fold and doing a thing. And the whole Jaina's a dreadlord thing.
Oh my God.
Let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
Well, Anduin does need an heir.
Maybe Valeria will hook up with Anduin. Who knows?
He does, but yeah, I think he's probably going to end up more with a rogue blood elf.
Yeah.
I totally think the same thing too.
We're gonna
with his
retcon that.
aunt,
Yeah.
Which, listen, again, if that's
That
those
looks like
characters
living
into
a-
that thing, whatever, man, that's cool. But I just don't think Warcraft's that progressive. So
I just want to point out that those characters were adults when he was a 5-year-old running Stormwind. So
Elves live
whatever
a
you
long
guys are
time.
Nothing
planning,
wrong with this.
Yeah, but blood elves are different. They age differently.
You
Yeah,
should have
exactly.
seen Navox just now, like licking his lips, talking about that ship. Okay, he's totally. Everyone's shipping Anduin with
I'm
the blood
sorry.
elf.
It was a dark and stormy night. Anyway, go
Okay.
ahead.
Think how
So-
cool the choice that would be to bring in a blood elf into the bloodline of
Exactly.
the leader of the alliance. I mean, that's
Can you-
big, man. That's gutsy. And
Can you imagine how
commend
cute
them.
that baby would be, though?
It would be
Like,
super cute, baby.
This needs to happen now. I'll ask a question though, so I'm going to tweak this. Slick Rock asked, "What are you going to main in Battle for Azeroth?" But we know that answer. So let's say if we
Okay.
take Warrior out of the equation, what would you main in Battle for Azeroth?
Mm.
Go ahead, man.
Well, that's a toss up because oh man, that's a toss up between three: shaman, rogue, or druid. And I didn't have a lot of fun on my rogue last night, so it's either, I think I'd probably choose a shaman, just because I like the way that I like the two axes and yeah, being a dwarf. So if I didn't have to pick, if warrior was out, I'd probably play a shaman.
Death Knight all night.
Isn't that like the same class?
Yep.
What? It's not really the same class.
It's
They
like
just have better, cooler looking armor.
the
That's the
DK
only
is like a
difference.
warrior but harder.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I will say that I do also enjoy the paladin, which is just a holy warrior. So, you know, it's plate and it's smashing on stuff. And one is rage, one is something else. You know, holy light, and one is I don't know. I want blood. I don't know. Whatever gets you going.
Barf's like shifting in his seat, like ready to pounce.
No, I was just trying to think that I agree that DKs are basically just warriors with a different flavor, but like I've always pictured them as being like cold. Like they walk around and they're just chilly. Like you get near them, and you're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I feel it's cold.
I'm not feeling so.
My
Yeah.
people are built for the cold though, so I guess I just kind of gravitate towards that.
Meanwhile, you got paladins over there, which are basically warriors, but like shinier, like we're brighter. You know, we're just glowy.
Easier to
Basically the
find
same
and
idea, though.
Easier to find.
Easier to find.
Here's
yeah, easier
one.
to find.
What are your pet peeves in raids?
Oh, I got one. So whenever somebody has an open mic and just random sounds come over an open mic, that drives me insane. That just, oh my God, that'll just do it for me.
Chalupa's in the raid.
I
Oh
don't
wait,
get it.
sorry, that needs an explanation too. In our team sort of rules.
And what
we-
team
we
would that
tend to
be,
keep
Berserker?
The Salad Senate raid team. Hail Salad Senate. Barian, our great leader. I'm sure will appreciate us getting the word out that we are recruiting for range DPS and anybody that wants to be a swing healer. So there, I got your plug out, buddy. So we have in our team rules that we kind of look for people of a certain age, which tends to be a little older because the Taco Bell munching, chalupa chewing, under 25-year-olds tend to be annoying as hell and think they know everything and take over the raids or try to. And there are some good ones. I know I'm painting with a broad brush here, but we are very aware of this sort of chalupa mentality, as we call it on the team. So when people come in and they're brand new and they've been around like one raid and they start telling everybody else what to do, yeah, you're going to get canned. Chalupa.
All of this talk of chalupas and salads and cans, I'm kind of getting the hungers a little bit.
I mean, we have, you know, one or two other questions, but
Go.
Okay. Well, T and Barf, do you have anything?
Personal loot. What did you think? Good change, bad change? How are your feelings on it?
Good change.
Love it.
Great change.
Don't have to do loot anymore. I hated it.
do
Fudsley
you-
wants to know, are no
Well,
warriors
no-
really warriors?
No.
Yes.
Barf. Well,
No, I want to explore this whole controversy of the gnome warriors. Let's get deeper into it.
no warriors annoy me. I don't
That's
know.
They
my
have those-
warrior.
Those big old bucket helmets, and they drag their weapons through the ground.
It's adorable.
Anybody that puts on the mantle of warrior and runs headlong into a battle, you are a brother or a sister of mine. I don't care what race you are a warrior.
That is the best answer to any question tonight, I believe. Except for the big question. How do we find you fellas on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter at Berserker Rage, and you can find our fine podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play.
Google Play.
Yeah, and I'm actually out there on Twitter at NAV_OX or over on Twitch at NavOWar, which will probably change again because I'm always changing my Twitch channel.
What's the
all
deal
the
with you
time.
changing all your
All the
handles?
time. It's just so annoying. The person who has like Navox doesn't really do anything with it. It's like, oh, so annoying that they just sit there. So I'm just trying to find something that works that I can get like across the board. Side note, I found a photo of like what would happen if you did have Anduin and Valeria like have an heir. You know, it's like I was just I mean I'm not wrong. I mean that could happen.
For the audio audience, there is no descriptor. Just tune in live next time, man.
You don't,
So-
Barf, do you not know who Bat Boy is?
Anyway.
National Enquirer, 1997. Google it.
Excuse me for not being an avid reader of the National Enquirer in 1997.
Barf doesn't spend that much time in the checkout lane. He's just, I gotta check out and go. Sal's like, hold up, I'm doing some reading.
This is Bat Boy. Okay. We cannot thank you enough for coming on the show, gentlemen. Do you have any shout outs you would like to give?
Zerker?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna give a shout out to my entire raid team Facepull. We had an excellent expansion. You know, Legion was amazing. Yeah, and we're really looking forward to going into BFA. I want to give a shout out to my co-host Berserker for inviting me on that crazy train, and I want to give a shout out to all of you on the Converted. Thank you for having us so much. Barf, T, Sal, Esh in the background. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'd like to obviously thank Salad Center for putting up with me as a raider, then as a raid leader, then now as a recovering raid leader, and just a crappy DPS warrior again. I'd like to thank.
I mean, you were always that, right?
Past, present, and future. I'd like to thank you also, Navox, for being a wonderful co-host and a great addition to the show, and people sing your praises wherever I go. I'd also like to thank all of you on this show. The Converted has always been a big supporter of my team, of myself, of my podcast. You know, Daddy Pat won't pick up my calls, but you guys will. So I really appreciate all the support over the years. So thank you.
Thanks, Berserker. Thanks, Navox. No, now Barf, hang up on him.
Okay, I love you guys. Bye-bye. I think I can actually do that now. I found the button. Bye, guys.
All right. Well, while we're bringing Esh on, I will talk some guild events.
It's time for tea!
As far as guild events goes, guys, we are ramping up for an expansion. So check out that guild calendar, guild.converttrade.com. We're playing out with communities. It didn't quite fall out the way we expected, kind of as Barf said earlier. So we'll kind of see how those get incorporated in with events. But join those CTR communities. We do know there's caps. We do know there's limits. So get in definitely while you can. The important thing, though, and I'm sure we're going to mention this again at the end of the show, August 13th, during that worldwide release of Battle for Azeroth, just a few hours before the show starts. It's going to be amazing. So instead, we're doing a special show about you. Come join us in Discord while you're playing or while you're waiting for the servers not to crash. And we're going to talk about the game. We want everyone to come. We want everyone's voices to be heard. So this is a time for you to be on your Guild podcast. That's August 13th, and that will be up on the calendar this week before Wednesday. I do promise that. But just watch that guild.converttoraid.com calendar, guys. All the stuff's going to be on there. Once this expansion drops, we will have so many amazing things on there. And I think that is all I have for guild events. So, Esh, let's see what you have for us this week with raiding.
We are bound and determined to get Eshelon on the show tonight.
Yes, we are.
We're bound and determined.
Hey guys.
There you are. Okay, I'm gonna cut it from here, so you can say "Hey guys" again.
Hey guys, we got some raid stuff to go over tonight if you'd like. Things are kind of slow as far as progression goes. You know, most teams are on break and everything, and that's cool. I know people are doing some side activities like trying to kill a few mythic bosses on the earlier tiers and stuff like that. But today I figured we just take the opportunity to maybe talk about getting your self set up in the guild portal. So I'm assuming that a lot of the listeners are, members of the CTR Guild. There certainly may be some that are not. So if you're not, then the first thing you got to do is kind of get registered on the CTR website. But assuming you've done that, you're registered, you've applied to the guild, and you have active tunes in the guild. On the guild portal, we have tools set up for you to explore raid teams and set yourself up for raid teams to find you. So it's all set up for matching teams and players. And so the first thing you're going to do is visit guild.converttoraid.com/teams. And believe it or not, I've actually had better experience using Internet Explorer on our portal than Chrome. Chrome's kind of, I don't know, I have issues. I get errors or I get spinning circles that don't stop. So just my own, little tip for people who, have issues. Log into your account. And so we're going into at the point where you're logged in. You're going to log in with the account registration info when you apply to the team, and near the top of the page is going to be a button that says My CTR. And once you click on My CTR, until that point, it's kind of you're just browsing raid teams or browsing the website or whatever. But once you click on My CTR, that's kind of where the magic's at. Once you're in there, you're managing your characters, you're managing raid teams that you're associated with. Or at least looking at all that information. Your characters will be shown. You can set up a character as a free agent. You can put in days and times that you're available so that when raid teams are looking for players, they can filter by that and kind of see if you're available when they raid. And you can also look for raid teams. You can do searches and filter the same way by what their schedules are, if they have a schedule at all. So say you want to search for a heroic raid team that raids Saturday afternoons, you can search for that. Maybe you're looking for a normal level team that raids after midnight on the West Coast, you can search for that. You find a team you like, you can apply right on the spot. It's all in the guild portal. Click apply to the team, and there's a few questions to fill out, and the team may have a couple of custom questions, but that's it. You submit that, and you may hear back. And there's usually a way, there's usually some names in there so you know who to contact if you want to get some feedback. if you're not able to find what you're looking for, perhaps you never were the type to join up with a group that's been around a while. Maybe you're a team of raiders that's just moved over to CTR to get a new start in a new place. No problem. At the top of the page, you will see a tantalizing button with the words "Create a Team." And that button is for you. You'll need to be ready to give a name to your team, set up stuff like what level of rating you plan on doing, normal, heroic, mythic. There's even an option for small teams. So if you're strictly Mythic Plus and you've only got like 7 or 8 folks on the team, it's no problem. You can set that up. No matter what kind of team you're setting up, you're able to utilize the tools of the websites available to help recruit and tie in the armory and stuff like that. You'll set up your schedule if you have one, your rating schedule, so that players can search based on that sort of stuff. And if you've got some specific questions you want to ask potential applicants, there's a spot for that. And once you're done, you submit the team for approval. The officers don't want, nasty names and stuff like that or whatever. But other than that, you're probably going to be good to go. A few days after that, your team will be ready. You can go in there. You can start adding members, configuring your roster, set up people to have admin rights so that they can help manage the team, do that stuff. And once that's all good and clean and clear, then hey, you're going to start showing up in the guild progression and the raid reports, here on the show and everything. So it might have sounded like a lot, but it's really pretty straightforward once you get in there, once you get logged in, and once you click that My CTR button, it's all really clean and straightforward. You set it up. If you have any issues, there's a submit ticket button so you can get some help. Raid liaisons will help you out. If they can't figure it out, they'll get somebody who can. I think that ought to cover it. There's a few other features, but I've rambled on quite a bit. So you just have to explore and see what's in there.
I'm going to piggyback off of this because something else that happens once a quarter-ish, depending on how the wall's happening, we do a raid recruitment event for the guild. So we kind of combine the raiding aspect with the event side and get y'all on Discord so you can chat with kind of the guild. So if you are looking to create a team or you want to join a team, this is kind of a great way. And the first one will be after the expansion drops. We're just kind of waiting to see how the raid tiers play out so teams can utilize it the most effectively and efficiently. But yes, I'd say within the next 45 days, expect one of these to be happening.
I would also say that once you've got things kind of set up in the guild portal, that's like step 1, and it's kind of a big step. You should definitely get on the CTR Discord and put your info out there. There's recruitment channels in the CTR Discord. Some folks come there first, and that's a little bit of putting the cart before the horse. It's not a big problem or anything, but raid teams can't really put you on their roster legitimately unless you're registered and you're in the system, and your information's all synced up. If you got alts, you got to let the greeters know and get your alts all linked together on the same account so that all your tunes will show up when you're in that portal. You don't want to go into the portal and not be able to access all of your characters. So you always got to make sure you mention to the greeter that who your main is and get that linked up. And then when you go to Discord or whatever, and maybe you get in touch with a team and they want to recruit you, hey, they can get you on that roster right away. They don't have to worry about you getting your stuff registered and all those extra steps. You're already set up. So definitely, once it's set up, get on Discord. A lot of you get a lot more access in Discord.
All right. Well, I think that is going to bring us to the chat room shout out. So chat room, throw them at me. I'll read them just as soon as Esh is done with the Twitter shout outs.
You know what? The chat room has been crazy awesome tonight.
It has been.
And there are people. We got like Jade is back, and I saw her like in the guild chat when I was online today. That all these people are coming online, are coming back into the fold, and they got the expansion fever. And I'm like, welcome back. And that whole speech was just so I can sing the Welcome Back Cotter theme song. And that's it. So shout outs then.
Winchester shouts out to @Zandra for always being such a great raid leader and putting up with me each and every week when we raid. Also for being the best mommy to her hermit crab too. Sure that's an inside joke.
She's got a hermit crab.
She has a real really?
You know, the little things you buy at the gas station. They're crabs and they have shells.
All right. I mean, it could be a pet name. It could be like, call my wife a hermit crab because I love her. I don't know.
You don't buy hermit crabs from the
Okay,
gas
maybe not.
station, Sal. You buy them from the shore. Everyone knows this. You go down the shore.
I can ask Lonnie. She inspects gas stations. So, do they sell hermit crabs at gas stations? She says no.
Yeah,
That doesn't happen.
You can buy them on the street 2 stops away in little plastic containers, but you got to buy the different sizes of shell so it can grow. But no, that's not her pet name for Habant, her husband.
Okay.
Anyway.
I understand. We'll let that be. Otherwise, we'll be yelling at ourselves in a week's time because we talked about hermit crabs for too long. So.
Yeah, it'll be in a week when I start like editing this, and then I'll be like, "Dang it, guys!"
Do we have any other
I'll talk
Twitter
more about
shout-outs?
Kara's hermit crab. Her name is Zoidberg.
I am.
Hooray!
I didn't see any others. Shout out to T because this pic just melted the podcast. This is from Tink. My gamer friends only account. Gonna log into Overwatch and see if T or Sal has sent me a friend request. Nothing? Shout out rescinded. Tink will give Esh and Barf a shout out because they are nicer. I don't know. That's good pick.
Team
Of the
we are
4 of
Battle.net
us.
friends already.
Yeah, like Tink, this happened a long time ago. I don't play Overwatch, though. This is a World of Warcraft podcast for the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak, US.
What's
And
Overwatch?
we know that because it's at the top of the show notes.
Right, yeah, so, yeah. All right, Miss Turarts.
Chat room shout out time. Sprout the Frog.
That's Frog Sprout, yeah.
Yes. Shout out for Elf for doing some heroic KJ runs this last couple of weeks, and to Eggplants getting back together for a raid this weekend with our new recruits. Also, shout out to CTR peoples that have been watching my Twitch for the last few nights now. I'm trying to stream more. Oh, yay. Kaiafin, shout out to Navox when the BFA patch dropped and we were all lost and waiting in the dark. He entertained us in Discord with Goonies. Awesome dude.
You know what?
That was great.
That doesn't surprise me at all. What did he do about the Goonies?
He was
Did he do the truffle shuffle?
No, he was pasting the it wasn't just the script, it was like the stage notes and everything of like opening scene at the jail. There's a jail cell, there's a man hanging, like the whole like all of it. Just pasting it. It was fantastic.
I was wondering what that was about.
It was about the Goonies.
I mean, I understood it was the Goonies. I didn't understand why he was doing it.
The rich stuff, Sal, the rich stuff.
Go ahead, T.
Graves CTR says shout out to the other greeters that stepped up and covered my injured self. Our greeters are amazing. And then finally, Tycon shout out to Turarts Chair Kitty. He's been very good up here for 90% of the show.
there was a percentage of the show where your kitty was doing some stuff behind your back.
Yeah, I was
And it
trying
was
to
funny.
like
He was
block
doing the
it.
kitty stretches.
Yeah. Exclavier also shouts out to Sal for always having my back.
Aww.
And I think that is it. I think we have successfully shouted the outs.
How about you guys, team? Do you guys have anything shout outs before we go?
Well, I want to shout out to my friend Kaz, who's been on the show, but she was on the Dark Moon Herald last week. Man, I have a lot of fun on the Dark Moon Herald. And that doesn't conflict in any way with this because it's on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm really glad I am Eastern. But that's a good time. We wake up in the morning and then we spend the first like half hour of the show that's not even part of the show, it's a pre-show, just trying to warm up our voice and like Kevin making everyone laugh. It's good. Thank you, Kaz.
All right, I will shout out to John and Ben for having me on Azeroth Roundtable. It's always fun to rub elbows with the filthy horde and make fun of them. So shout out to that. Shout out to Cuddles because we and we kind of explained it in the show, after a hiatus, we are bringing the game case back and going back to our Blizzard roots. So it's just kind of fun for us to talk about some of the things we talked about tonight on this show, actually, but in more depth. And just shout out to CTR in general. These next couple of weeks, we're going to be ramping it up. Barf's bringing on greeters. Event staff's going to be ready to go. Raid liaisons are going to have tons of work to do. So there is just a lot that you all do, and it is much appreciated. So shout out to you all.
I'm going to shout out. Yeah, I'm going to shout out to my raid team. I've done that a few times, I suppose. But what stood out to me this last week is we started taking in signups for BFA, and I'm pretty sure we're a little over 30 signups so far. So we're going to be real busy in the Faithful team, and there seems to be a lot of folks wanting to come back, and that's great. We are very excited about that. So shout out to each and every person who, likes us enough to spend a little bit of time with us in this upcoming expansion. And I'm looking forward to the expansion, and I just love my teammates. So shout out to those guys.
Ash is gonna start crying if you don't go, Barf.
I would like to shout out to warriors, just as a people. Even the gnomish warriors. I appreciate that you are there doing whatever it is that you do there, and I like that you sometimes will share your artifact appearances, your transmog appearances with me. It's very generous of you. Thank you very much for that.
That was a paladin joke.
That is about going to wrap us up for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Navox and Geek Chic Lisa for our theme music. You can find us on Twitter at converted_CTR. Turarts is at Turarts. Sal is at summer_Sal. Esh is at Eshelon, and I am at a bonus level. Sal, when's the next episode?
The next episode is August 13th. It happens to be it starts just a few hours after the worldwide release of Battle for Azeroth. Now remember, the guest on the show is you. Come join us in Discord, and while we're playing, or while we're waiting for servers not to crash or something like that, you can come on and talk about the game. Everyone should come, and everyone will have a voice. This is your chance to be on The Converted.
That's going to do it, everybody, for Turarts.
Bye.
For Eshelon.
Bye, warriors.
For Sal.
For the Alliance!
And for myself. We'll see you next time, everybody.
You can follow the show on Twitter at converted_CTR. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Converted Podcast. And find us on our Twitch channel, Converted Podcast. And join us live every other Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Yay!
I was also going to
Yay!
shout out T's cat, but
Someone else did.
yeah.
Almost shouted out with an intimidating shout to my rage bar.
T, that cat
Oh!
was stealing the show a little bit at one point.
Oh yeah.
That would have been so much better to say. Oh, to give an intimidating shout out? Oh, come Esh.
Intimidating
That would have.
shout out.
Mm,
We were halfway through the outro when it happened.
so clever.
So,
This was
no,
a
it's
lovely episode. I liked
the
it.
cleverness is really slow in this.
Can we edit that in somehow?
Oh, shit.
Ash is greater than Barf. Yeah, that's what Silver was saying at the beginning of the episode. How come everybody's like, I'm at the bottom of the food chain all day today, man? I'll tell you this much. The end of the show, I was definitely bottom of the food chain. I was like, I kept seeing Sal giving the high sign, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to talk. Like, I was just dead asleep at the end of the show for some reason. Like, the last 5 minutes or so, I was just zonked.
I can knock it
How's it
down.
going?
I don't know if it's going to help for the rest of the show that just got recorded, but
What? I'm confused. A commanding shout, yeah. Intimidating shout is a D&D thing. Is intimidating shout a...
Yes.
I've never...
Intimidating
Warriors
shout,
have
the thing that-
intimidating, demoralizing.
Yeah, they have intimidating. It's a fear. Makes your enemies flee. We had to stop using it on Portal Keeper yesterday because they don't have that glyph anymore that makes them stand still.
Ah, yes. Barf has less carbs. Real talk, I
Yes.
have been really lazy because I thought I was going to move. Is there any after show you need me for, says Berserker?
What?
The Berserker wants to know if we want him to come back on.
Bring them on, I don't care.
Stick that stuff in your ears.
Bring him on.
I think you have to
Did
add
I
it back
ring
to the
him?
group
Or
style.
did I, like, remove him from the call or from the group? I removed him from the group.
Just
Stick
say-
it back in the group, and then we can stick that stuff back in our ears.
Why did Tom had sent a weird thing.
No, he just
Okay.
left the group text or group thing that we had him in, and I think I just accidentally did too.
Oh.
But it's fine.
Let's see. Boo boo boo. How do you do this? Like this. And then we say Berserker. Barf, you should know Berserker better.
Yeah, I
You
feel
only
like
add
we
them
would.
if you're a friend.
I feel like we would have friendships. There he is,
Sal's on it.
my man.
And
Hey,
you weren't drunk or nothing.
Dude, it's school night.
I'm gonna get water drunk. I'll be right back.
I just, I figured you're gonna ask us all the dirty questions after the official portion was over.
No, we still got to keep guild rules, man. I was just trying to scare you. I told Berserker that I was gonna ask him about like what his favorite brand of prophylactic was.
Answer is none. Raw dog all the way.
Good night, folks.
Send your complaints to Pat at Crane Industries.
What?
What?
Who?
Huh? What?
See, you broke Turarts.
I was told I had to be good. And then we have guests like this coming in, and it's not fair, but I will be good.
Yeah, I knew what I was getting into with Berserker. But it wasn't Berserker that dropped a curse word on the show. It was
It
Navox.
was Navox.
I was good. I was behaved for me.
Yo, dog, really, seriously? of all the podcasts I've listened to, your show was my favorite book review for sure.
You.
It was one that made me think. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it I honestly thought it was one of the best ones that they've done. It felt kind of brief, but I thought they tackled some pretty good stuff. And yeah, if you want to make this a bigger party, I bet Nav's sitting over there playing with himself. So he's probably playing a game, so he's probably ready to go.
I need to brick my router. So
Oh yes, you had internet.
Brick your router. Is that what you said?
yeah, I think
Am I not enough for you, Fraz? Is that the problem?
Oh, I'm gonna bye.
Bye, Ash.
Love you, Ash.
Ash is a frustrated puppy right now. I'll tell you that. He had technical difficulties, and he showed up and performed like a boss. He moved through it.
You just gotta power through. You gotta make the show. That's how it works.
Wow. He went through some stuff to get on the line tonight. So I think he's gonna throw his router out the window. But Navox, always good to have you on. You're muted.
I had to put the mic up. There we go. Is it working?
Yes.
We're good.
What are you
We're
drinking?
good still.
Be
I'm not
careful
drinking
about
anything.
your naughty language, sir.
I know.
Good job.
Okay, here's the deal about Navox, Barf. He's always getting cat hair off his stuff.
I am.
And he's
Yeah,
like
that's cat
rolling his
ownership for
thing
you.
and spraying his thing. Yeah, but like he's like weird, he's weird about it. Like
I've got my
Don't you come in here with your lint rollers acting like I ain't got lint rollers.
I have a lint roller here. The lint roller.
I thought like every pet owner has like 6 lint rollers.
How do you get this up? I mean, look at it. It's all dirty, so you just like bite it.
Alex, we can't hear.
Ew!
I don't need to see a close up of that, man.
You're nasty cats.
Oh, so you guys actually can't hear me then?
Yes.
Oh,
What?
okay. T said she couldn't hear me, so she's trolling me. Trolling T.
Does he know he's muted?
Turarts, you can't hear Navox?
No, I can't. You're not gonna mess with me. I'm not doing this. I fall for this.
What?
He's on.
Navox is definitely on.
No,
Maybe
I
you
can't hear him.
Maybe you have Navox muted in Discord.
Probably has me muted in Discord.
Probably has
Listen,
muted in
I
Discord.
was almost convinced that the moon was made of cheese once, so
Chat.
I don't
chat.
trust people.
Well,
Give it to us.
Ben seems to believe that the lunar landing was in Teldrassil, and you guys need to go out there and correct him.
I had you down to 3%, which is why I couldn't hear you. So basically, but not quite. So I will.
That's usually what I do when we record.
She's like,
Sir,
I'm not gonna fall for this again. I'm not gonna fall for this.
My husband, if I brought him on, he would have stories that do not need shared about things. I just like to believe people tell the truth, and it gets me in trouble because they lie.
Yeah.
But he was telling the truth. We were telling the truth.
No, you were this
Yeah,
time. I know.
Sean.
But I thought maybe he was just mimicking really well. I was
No.
like, no, I'm not gonna fall for.
No, he's not that talented.
No, I'm not that talented.
I didn't get your coffee answer. Something
That's
about
weird.
indigestion.
No. I had a you didn't read the text in chat.
Navox, that's bad.
You didn't read the text in chat.
What
Did I
text? Now?
type?
What did it say?
Well, it's after show, so I didn't want to like
No, it's still gotta be guild.
see. Okay, then we can't say anything. So that's the thing. Like I was gonna come on the show, we were gonna talk about dragons, and I was gonna be all, so you like talk about dragons because we'd be dragging our balls all over the show and stuff like that. But and then if you go look, and I mean, I kept it clean. That was clean, and I mean, and then we can go down.
Casey is
Through-
annoyed.
Go
We're
through.
never going to be allowed back. Thank you.
Sorry.
Good
So
job.
go read up where 10:07 in Discord in the little voice chat here.
10:07.
10:07. Scroll up.
Anyway,
Don't read it out loud, Sal.
Okay.
Burgundy.
while that's going on, I just want to say, barf.
Zerker.
Yeah, it is a little off-putting every now and again when a man sends me his topless photos, but I have to commend you on the great work that you're doing.
Yeah.
Your
Thank you so
personal journey,
much.
because that's a hell of a feat, my man. So I just wanted to say, congratulations, good job on that, good work.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
you had mentioned that you were doing Tyson chickens. Like, what's the deal with that?
Yes.
Like, do you just have okay?
I
so
eat them raw.
Give us no. Well, that's not good with salmonella and all that. But
how do you think you lose the weight so fast? You spend so much time in the bathroom.
Oh,
It works. Trust me. Raw chickens. I'm telling you, that's the way to do
There
it.
you go. I
No,
wonder if that's how Bajira does it. I mean, have you seen that guy lately on Twitter?
Bagheera?
Bajira, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Dude, that dude's ripped, man. I wonder if he's eating raw chicken too. Like,
I'm telling you, man. No, okay. For anyone, don't eat the raw chickens. Don't do it. There's like one person out there in the internet who might one day come across this show and go, "Yeah, man, raw chickens. That does sound like it's a good idea. Don't eat the raw chickens." It's good."
lung butter. That's gross.
You'll get extra lung butter if you eat the raw chickens.
No, I opened up my AC last week and I am sick now, like for a whole 2 weeks. So it's horrible.
Ooh, that's no good.
Tell us about the chicken, Barf.
Yeah, so the chicken. I am very weird in that I can eat the same thing for like weeks or months at a time and not get bored of it. Like I understand that that's not super easy for everyone to do, but I have a chicken recipe that's super easy to cook and is like it's higher on protein than it is on fats and carbs, which means that when you eat it, you kind of get a decent amount of fullness without actually having eaten a ton of food. Like, it's really hard to get full on carbs. You just eat them, and you eventually get full, but you've eaten like 12 days worth of food. It's a couple of frozen chicken breasts, a cup of salsa, and a can of beans and a can of corn in a slow cooker for 8 hours.
Okay, all right.
Did you stop putting the cream cheese in it?
No, the cream cheese comes at the very end. Cream cheese goes in maybe another 20 or 30 minutes in there, and then you're good.
You're doing like a burrito bowl without the bowl
any
part.
of this. Yeah, maybe a couple of nachos in there, just to like a tortilla chip, just to get it a little bit of a crunch, but not very much, man. You don't need much. I was eating that basically every day for lunch for like a year and a half.
Wow.
Good for you, man.
Eggs and veggies in the morning, and then dinner changes. Like sometimes it's chicken and sometimes it's fish. I try to keep it like, and I was doing the MyFitnessPal thing and like keeping an eye on my calories, and it started to work. And I went, oh shit, let's keep going.
Well, good for you. Keep it up,
Now
man.
power hot.
I know this shit's
I can
hard.
influence the minds and bodies of the people around
God,
me
it
with my
is
hotness.
so hard. It really is. It's hard.
There he is, absolutely. But it works. When it starts to work, you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep it working now. So it's gonna it's so much easier to keep going when it starts to work.
I like bread. I like pizza. I like all that. Like
oh, I love those things.
It's horrible.
Have you ever had cheese? Oh my god, it's the best.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
Considering I think that my blood type now is probably ragu. I mean, you're holding it down.
Take some ragu, put a little bit of brown sugar in that. Oh my god.
That's your blood type?
When the doctor comes back with your LDL level is rocky road.
Your cholesterol is fine, but your garlic is oddly high.
When you come in, you're sweating like all kinds of random food groups that you should not be having. No, yes.
Yeah, I don't. I was trying to think of like stuff that I would eat while I'm playing, because I'm like, it's funny because during when Mop launched, all I wanted to eat was Chinese food. Honest to God, like subliminally, all I wanted to eat was Chinese food all the time. And I remember when it launched, I went to go get Payway, came back and leveled nonstop till max level. And I'm trying to think like, what do I want to eat? Because it's going to launch at 6 p.m. I'm like, that's
More
dinner
Chinese
time.
food.
Maybe Chinese food. I don't know, but
More
we'll
Chinese.
see.
food.
I
Over
can't.
and
I
over
can't.
again,
I
forever.
can't get any of the peripherals here greasy because it'll drive me nuts. So I have to.
I told you he's weirdly clean.
I can't
there's
my
clean
mouse-
and
Cleanliness
there's
isn't
Navox.
weird, Sal. Not
My
all of us are
mouse is
tipping over
like-
candles in their closets or whatever it is that you're into, man. Some of us keep our stuff tidy.
I did do that though. I
thought we were
absolutely
gonna have
did
to call
that.
the fire department, to be honest.
You'll never get your deposit back like that.
that ship sailed a long time ago, my friend.
Uh-oh.
I mean, you don't really want that backdrop to catch fire. That's horrible.
No, this backdrop is just horrible. I'm ready to get rid of it altogether. I just need something to replace it. I don't know.
How
What
about
to
you
do
just
yet.
selling
paint-
some Alliance banners. You could put one
Map
of
of the
those
world.
behind.
You could paint it green and have your own green screen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I rent here, so not doing that. Also, I don't want to deal with do green screen stuff like you do. Like I don't know. Like
Don't do all that. Just have the green cloth.
I like the green screen. I mean, I could do all sorts.
that's what
of I
Barf
love
does.
But no filters. Just have the green cloth and be sitting in front of green and be like, "Hi, I'm Sal. I'm here to do the show," and you're just surrounded by greenness. This is my green screen.
I was considering black.
Ooh, I like that. But you have dark
Um,
hair, so it might get lost.
Yeah. Oh, but I just figured out that on my keyboard, because on my keyboard has.
Nav is taking a school
I'm
picture
taking
in
my
the
80s school picture. Hang on.
Oh my god.
Love it.
That could be the
I
cover
can't
of your next
believe-
album.
Now I'm in light speed. What? Oh, it's crazy.
Ludicrous speed. I said it before Barf could.
I don't have ludicrous speed on here, but I have this.
Keep firing, assholes!
Yeah.
There we go.
I'd like Sal getting a green screen so all of us can screen grab and Photoshop weird stuff on it. Ash, I don't know about that. Oh,
Sounds
by
like
the way,
a good contest for Photoshop Sal and win a collector's edition of BFA.
There you go.
Or later in the year, Photoshop Sal doing the most ridiculous thing on the green screen and get a virtual stream paid for courtesy of the Converted.
from all the money we make doing the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, pull your resources, sell some blood.
I did be more fun to edit and post. I did have to pay the bill for the show, and I think Belschnickel could have done that cheaper than he ended up doing.
Oh.
But it was 100 altogether. It was $160.
Sal, why don't you guys start hosting out there on SoundCloud? I mean, seriously.
Is that gonna screw with our RSS feed?
Well, you'll just have to set it all up. I mean, it's SoundCloud's a great.
Okay,
it's
Navox.
free. It's. I'm not taking
that
this
sounds like
project
a
on,
great.
I'm just saying-
Yeah. Okay. Because you
Sounds like you're
understand-
volunteering there, champ.
I'm not taking
Okay.
this project on.
You
I'm just
understand
saying-
that anything to do with that kind of stuff always ends up with you doing it for me.
I'm just saying that it might help out in the
Thanks,
long run
Nav.
for cost.
And one time I cried and no, I can't figure it out. And he just give it to me. Just give it to me. I mean,
This is why you're always busy when I'm calling you for tech support.
So
this knob
anyway,
on my TV that says UHF. That's right.
Oh,
we're
the kid-
old.
the
We
kids
know what
won't get
UHF
that
is.
in
Go
channel.
back to your avocado kids. Lupas.
chalupas. I can't believe you're like, no millennials in my grade.
Oh my God, there was
Basically.
How old do you think millennials are, Sal?
I am technically a millennial.
I mean,
So
I'm
am I.
on the
Hate it.
cusp.
I don't think that either one of you would be welcome on Berserker stream.
I am.
That's true.
25.
I am not a
And I'm
millennial.
28, so I am good.
28 is fine. 28 is fine.
See?
It's really a 25 and under is
25 and
kinda
under. That is funny. 25
When
and
did
under.
you graduate from high school?
I'm not sure
2008.
I'm not sure 25 is a millennial. I think 25 is the next one down, isn't it?
It's a
1997 is the cutoff.
something like that.
Is it really?
So
Okay.
20-year-olds right now.
Listen, here's the answer. If you get drunk on a Sunday afternoon in Brooklyn, you're a millennial.
What?
So if I get wasted in the Midwest, I'm good then.
Are all
Done.
millennials Brooklynites? Brooklyniers or tourists?
There's something about
Brooklennials?
getting, like day drinking that goes along with being a millennial. I don't know.
I used to be on a raid team
Maybe it's
called
just
day
people
drinking.
from Brooklyn that get drunk at that time. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, Sunday
So
brunch
Sal's
is
a millennial.
Yeah.
I've seen the videos on World Star. Those brunches get out of hand.
These brunches, these Brooklyn brunches, man, dude.
Ooh, brutal.
Wow. One time, oh my God, I met my friend for brunch, and it's like, oh, it's all you can drink. Wow, but it's on a timer. It's 90 minutes. And we ended up going all over the city, just doing like this, basically. It just bouncing. We went shopping and
You were at the
while
club?
wasted. I bought cardamom. I bought like really expensive cardamom. Don't
What
know
is
why.
that?
Why
What
is
is
it
that?
spice?
It's a spice.
Okay.
Why?
We went to a spice store. I don't know. And the lady at the spice store was like really annoyed with us. But it was a kind of spice store that looks like an apothecary. You go in and there's like drawers up there. Anyway. And then we ended up in some a celebrity chef restaurant demanding to be sat.
Was it Guy
Oh, but
Fieri?
it was one of the
That man is
Was
saving
there
lives.
donkey sauce?
Momofuku restaurants. It was Momofuku, like the bow.
What? Okay.
This guy that's all over the Netflix with the food, the guy who does the noodle restaurants, and he's got anyway, celebrity chef place, and we went there at 4, so they let us sit, but we were just trashed and spent all this money. How were we even hungry? Oh, and that
Typical
was after
millennial.
we got all these oysters. Why we needed oysters and martinis before that, I don't know. Oh, but that was after we got kicked out of Wonder Woman.
This is what it sounds like when I
Because-
talk about lore. Christ, this is seriously. I'm not even following this at all. Like,
This was.
I'm ordering
this
dinner.
was all in one day.
Go
This is
on.
brunch and then shopping and then Wonder Woman. Except we didn't see Wonder Woman, but we bought all this popcorn and stuff, and they kicked us out. Me and my friend Sherry, because we were sitting on the floor because we didn't want to sit up front because it didn't have reserved seats. I did get my money back from the popcorn, but I used the money I got back from the popcorn to buy oysters and martinis. And then we ended up at the celebrity chef restaurant to get some like pork bun stuff. And then we went across the street to the celebrity chef dessert place and got ice cream. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I spent like $300 on brunch.
oh, okay, that's where this story was going.
All right, we got to the point finally.
Excellent. There we go.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna step out here. I hope all of you have a great evening. Thank you very much for having us
Yeah.
Maniacs on the show, and I hope people continue to check out our fine program, the Unshackled Fury podcast, where things happen. I don't know if they're good or bad, but they happen. And thank you all. Sal, pleasure to see you. Barf, a pleasure to meet you. Turarts, nice to see you as well. And hope you guys have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, hon.
Everybody, bye-bye.
See you, bub. And now I'll stick things to my forehead. No, I don't have anything.
Remember the time you put the plunger on your forehead?
Ah, I do. The 2 little mini plungers. Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
good.
I should have bought those. It was my Tauren because it had little horns on it. I wish I could find it. I don't have that photo. Do I have that photo? Let me see.
Why is there a car?
I've been going through all my I have a
Been
Twitch.
for a while.
Okay, so what I have here is I have a Twitch, and it was funny because Twitch was showing Knight Rider, right? And I found this Knight Rider thing, and I like it, and it looks
Rider.
like cars. So I was like, that's cool. So, yeah. But I have a little Twitch. I have a Twitch folder that I keep all of my live stream stuff into because I am rusty as hell with doing anything live stream related.
Hey, Navox, I was going to stream. I was going to start streaming. Could you just go ahead and set that up for me?
Just download Streamlabs. Bam, done. It'll do it all for you automatically.
Schwab's
Just
is
honest to
great.
God. Streamlabs. So here's something that I didn't know for people who stream with the NVINC or however you say it, codec. So there's a thing called B-frames with NVINC that if you don't touch them, it's bad. But if you put them up to like 4, it makes your stream perfect. But I didn't discover this because I didn't know how to use it. Streamlabs set it all up for me. I just went in Streamlabs. I did a 2-hour and 30-minute long stream. Not one drop. It was perfect. There was no delay. I mean, it was just like, I love Streamlabs. It's great.
Okay, I downloaded Streamlabs and started doing it, but I couldn't figure out.
You couldn't figure out. It's all automatic. It'll set it all up for you automatically.
I'm telling you, it didn't set it all up for me automatically because I couldn't figure
Did
out
you
how
give
to
it your
stream
credit
a
card
video
information?
game.
Give me your credit card information. I'll get it all set up for you perfectly and all that. So,
In order to get the good frame rates, though, you're also going to need social security number.
Social Security for good frame rate. Yep.
Fact.
Yep, accurate.
I am also gonna have to be a party
Yeah.
pooper. I have to go.
Tino's.
Yeah,
I
let's,
have to go to bed. It's 11 o'clock. I got to hop into bed. Get up for work
Um,
tomorrow.
cool. Yeah, let's do that. I need to get up early so I can
Actually,
he
real
did it
quick,
for me.
one thing, because this isn't being edited. Oh, it is. You've got to highlight this show, right, and then cut this part out.
I won't cut out I cut out the top but not the bottom.
Okay.
Why?
Oh, nothing. When you stop the stream, I want to ask Barf something.
Bye, chat room.
Bye, chat room.
Good
Bye,
night.
everybody.